This next conversation is a little heartbreaking. And more because many times when we talk about insecurity, it's just out there happening to some people. But when it comes close home, it's a whole new ball game altogether, and it doesn't leave any taste that you want to repeat in the mouth at all. That's the story this morning of Mr. Walter Emeribe, who is the husband of one of the kidnapped victims of the abduction of 6 defense ministry directors, where we understand that the abductors are demanding a ransom of 150 million naira. Mr. Emeribe is here with me. Good morning, and thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me.
What exactly happened and what brought you here?
So actually, it was a case of abduction which involved my wife, Mrs. Chinwe Adeline Emeribe, and some of our colleagues who are staff of Ministry of Defense going to Abuja for promotional exam to the Directorate cadre. So they boarded the vehicle owned by Andy's transport company at First Gate in First Stack here in Lagos on the 9th of November, which was Sunday. So they left the transport company's park or terminal at about 7:46 in the morning to Abuja. So the bus, it was a 14-seater bus they boarded. So getting to Kaba, like we heard in the news, getting to Kaba, Lokoja Highway, they were abducted. And since then, I've not heard anything from my wife. I've not heard her voice. I've not seen her. And nobody called me.
November 9, is that, you say November 9?
Yes, November 9.
Today is December 3. That's almost a month ago.
Yeah, almost a month. Almost a month, sir. You are right.
How did you know it happened at Kaba?
So like I said, my wife left. I took her to the park.
Okay.
That's a fateful day. So I was there until the bus departed for Abuja before I now went home. So when it was around 1:30 p.m., I called to know how the journey was progressing. When I called, she responded and told me that they were at Akure. So in my conversation with her, I told her that if you are at Akure by 1:30, the journey has not started, because the journey from Lagos to Abuja is far away, it's a distance. So for you to be at Akure, the journey has not started. Now whatever happens, take good care of yourself. God will be with you in the journey. And I inquired if the vehicle had any problem on the way, whether kind of fault or so. Did it develop any fault or so? He said, no, the vehicle was moving well. I said, okay. So, well,
so was it the transport company, or who told you that the abduction happened?
That's where I'm coming to now. Okay. So when I called around 1:30, after that discussion, then around 4 p.m., I called again. I could not hear anything from her. All her lines, her Airtel line and MTN, mostly the Airtel was ringing. Each time I called, it would ring, but no response. The MTN, all I'll be hearing is not reachable. So I continued up to midnight. From midnight again, I continued calling at intervals up to 5 a.m. I did not sleep. So getting to 6 in the a.m. on Monday. So I called, I didn't hear anything. So I became somehow afraid. I became jittery. So at a point that Monday morning, I think that should be going to 7 in the morning, I went to the company's office to ask them what actually happened, because my wife that went to Abuja through their boss the previous day, I did not hear from her. I called all through the night till daybreak. I didn't hear from her. So that's why I came to know from you people what happened. I hope all was well. So what I heard from one of the ticket clerks there was that their vehicle was kidnapped, that they were kidnapped at Kaba in Kogi State. So that's how I came to know about that.
Have you heard anything from the Ministry of Defense to whom they were going? Are they aware of this abduction?
Actually, nobody from Ministry of Defense has contacted me. Nobody told me anything. Rather, what I did was, after hearing from the transport company, so I now called the primary place of her work assignment, which is Command Day Secondary School, Ojo, in Ojo Military Cantonment. So I called the school to find out from them if they are aware that their staff who they sent on official assignment were kidnapped at Kogi State. So they said yes, that they have been told, and that their commandant is running around, that he's on it. So that was all I heard from the defense. So since then, nothing again. Up until 3 or 4 days ago, 3 days ago, I went to defense office in Moloni, around behind the race course, or TBS, Tafawa Balewa Square. So I went there to find out from them what they had been doing since November 9th that this incident took place. So when I got there, I was told that I have to go to Yaba, Hans Barak, because their unit is under Nigerian Army Education Corps. So that I have to go to Yaba, Hans Barak. That is where my complaint has to be channeled. So that I did by going to Hans Barak to complain. So when I got there, the commander who was in charge was not on seat. Rather, his deputy was the one that attended to me and the other victim's family. So we are told that they have been on it, and that
so what are the hopes, what are the things that they have told you about whether or not they have been released, or they will be released?
No, what they told me when I got there was that they have been on it, and the letter had that they have been released. So I told them that yes, we had they've been released. That was why.
How did you hear that they would be released?
Yeah, I heard it in news. About 2 television stations mentioned it, that they have been released. The 6 directors of Ministry of Defense who were on their way to Abuja for a promotion exam, but we have abducted, have been released, and reunited with their families. So when I heard this, I was not happy. I felt bad. I said, oh, why would this news come from the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Ministry of Defense? And this statement was made by their president, by name, Mr. Mohammed Shehu.
Okay.
So I was not happy with that. I said, if they have released the 6 women, where is my wife? And where is the other woman, Mrs. Juliana Onwuzurike?
Well, the news we also heard is that some of them have been released, but it just so happens that maybe your wife was not among.
Yeah, but the initial news I had was that 6 of them have been released. And that was what prompted my going all around to ask them, if they have released the 6, where is my wife? And the other family too. We've been working hand in hand. So they've been going wherever we go to ask, they are there too. It's unfortunate the man is not here today because he's not feeling fine. Otherwise, he's supposed to have come. So we've been going around asking them, where is our wives? So at the end, we are told that 4 people were released. And these 4 people are nowhere to be seen to tell us exactly what happened. While the 2 women, our wives, were not part of those who were released.
I think my colleague in Abuja, Mawkwe, would like to ask you 1 or 2 questions as well. Go ahead, Mawkwe.
Indeed, Mr. Emeribe, you know, my heartfelt commiserations, because I can only imagine what trauma you've been through in the last 1 month, waiting for the return of your wife and having to go round by yourself. I mean, it ought to be the other way around. You ought to have been informed by members of staff of the ministry where your wife worked as to what exactly had become of her, and to be offered support and help, not the other way around. But clearly, that hasn't happened, and you are the one who is having to prod for information. From what you have said now, the fact that, I cannot call it a fact, or the idea that, you know, people were released, some women were released, have you been able to confirm through any means whatsoever that these 4 women were actually released? Has any family been able to confirm that indeed their wives or their mothers were released to them?
Yes, the 4 women alleged that they have been released. Actually, they've been released because I have called one family, Mrs. Helen Ezako's husband. When I heard that they've been released, I called him rather, to find out if his wife is back, because he was with us all the time. We have been running around trying to see what to do. Even when the company invited us to come, that there's need for us to pay ransom. So all of us were together running around. I called him to ask to find out. He said yes, he heard that his wife had been released, but he had not seen him. He has not seen his wife, but all he knows is that she has been released. But along the way, when she was coming, that the brothers came and took her to the hospital. Then the other person amongst them, Mrs. Essien too, the brother confirmed to us that she had returned. Likewise, one other person too, Mrs. Ngozi Ibeziako, the relatives too said she has been released, that she's back, but in the hospital. Then the driver who went to rescue them, or who went to bring them after they were released from the company, the Andy Lee's transport company, who met him the day they said they have been released. When he came back to their park, we met him and asked. He said he dropped another one, Mrs. Ladoye, at Ebado. So based on this, we have concluded that the 4 of them have been released.
What exactly is your plea now? Because I can only imagine where you are mentally. And I know that what you're also seeking is clarity. What exactly has transpired? What was the circumstance under which the other women were taken away? Under what circumstance, were they released? What is the fate of your wife? Who precisely are you directing your plea to, and what precisely are you asking of them?
Thank you very much. What I am actually requesting now is that Ministry of Defense should tell me where my wife is. They should, because she was sent on official assignment, and up to now, they have not come out to tell me where my wife is after the abduction, and these four have been released. So I want them to tell me where is my wife, whether she's dead or alive. They should come out and tell me. Otherwise, I don't know what else to do. So if it requires they are going to Kogi State to search for my wife, whether she is dead, like I said, or alive, they should do that. I've not seen them taking any proactive measure. So all I want from them is let them come out and see a way of bringing out my wife, wherever she is, together with Mrs. Juliana Onwuzurike, the two of them who are nowhere to be seen. And at the same time, they should reach out to this transport company that took these women to Abuja. With this transport company, they are hiding. They don't want to come out to tell us exactly what happened, because there's need for them to tell us so that we know our stand. The police, on the other hand, is trying to shield them. The company, this Andy company, the director, most of the times when we call, he does not pick our calls. Sometimes you make attempt to reach him in the office, he will be nowhere to be seen.
It's very, very important for all of these agencies, all these interested parties to speak to this issue. Otherwise, the allegations and the uncertainties will just continue to increase. It's the Federal Ministry of Defense, and now that we have a new Minister of Defense incoming, let's hope that something drastic and quickly will be done to resolve the issue. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and we can only wish you Godspeed. We can only pray that God will help you, to hold on while all of this, continues. Walter Emeribe is a husband of Mrs. Chinwe Adeline Emeribe, who was kidnapped along with 5 others, staff of the Ministry of Defense. We appreciate your time again.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's the show this morning. Thank you for the privilege of being a part of your morning. I'm Ayo Makinde. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Well, thank you for watching. I'm Maokwe Ogun Yusuf. On top of the hour is Business Morning.